welcome to our next panel. When I went to drama school, I learned how to deal with anxiety. I learned how to deal with stress, with mental stress. And I learned also to deal with getting nervous before going on stage, how to deal with that. And I think this is very important, especially in these days. Mental health is very important when you expose yourself to an audience, when you're on social media, when people see your movies and you get comments or bad comments or also supporting comments. You just fly high and then you fall very deep. We have to learn how to deal with that. But talking about mental health is most of the time a taboo tema. Recently we started talking about that and it became maybe a fashion, but it's very important to talk about and to learn how to deal with it, especially for people of color, for people from Africa or with an Afro-diasporic background, because they have to deal with a lot of stress, discrimination, racism and all that. How to deal with that, how to cope with that. This is the talk of the next panel here. And I'd like to welcome on stage the actress, writer and producer from Germany and Jamaica, Jessica Sai. Welcome on stage. Also welcome the actress, screenwriter from Germany, Lebanon and Spain, Lina Zaraket. Please welcome also with a warm applause the actor, author and director from Italy and Algeria, Nadia Kibout. And your host for this panel is the actor, screenwriter, producer and founder of Perennial, Rodney Charles.
Hello, hello. Well, firstly, thank you so much. Firstly, again, my name is Rodney Charles. I'm the Vice President of the African Artists Association, which is a non-profit based in Los Angeles, whose job it is to demystify the entertainment industry and create a certain level of awareness and functionality to be able to navigate the space. Can I just share a couple things? One, I'd like to just approach this panel in an appropriate fashion, which is to sort of give a trigger warning, if you will, that we may be sharing issues to do with mental health. It may have the conversation of depression, the conversation of even self-harm may arise. And so I think if anyone is triggered by any of these subjects, I just wanted to share that ahead of time. But we will be getting into that conversation. As the Vice President of the African Artists Association, we have lost the members of our organization to depression and self-harm. And so it's something that is personally very dear to me. I'm very open about the fact that I personally am a survivor. And so it's something that is, personal to me in that regard. So without any further ado, and having these wonderful talents here with joining me, who are very, very beautiful, who are very graciously agreed to join to have this conversation, and we always run out of time, so I'm going to be mindful of that as well. So I wanted to ask if you could introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what it is that you do specifically, because I know that there are quite a few multi-hyphenates on the stage today. So let's start with whoever would like to go first.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Nadia Kibout. First of all, I want to thank Prudence and Yanibis for having me. I really feel blessed to be here. Amazing work done. Amazing days since yesterday. I heard so many things and so powerful things and histories. I met a lot of people and it just gave us power to go on and believe, welcome to the survivor. I'm a survivor too, so welcome in. So I'm an actress, screenwriter and director based in Italy, Rome city. I'm an activist, let's say. Because activist in this way, I'm making a collaboration with the Italian union casting directors with a purpose to change narrations. Brilliant. And to change things. And some of them, they came here from Italy, and they were here this morning because Afro Berlin is really a big inspiration for us, and we have to learn from all of you guys. So I really hope deep inside that maybe, I can't say tomorrow, but maybe next year it will be Afro Rome. I want to say it. You guys are powerful. So this, and I want to say another thing, and then let my colleagues introduce themselves. There are so many things to say. I started as an actress since 20 years now, and I become a writer and director because of the lack of work and characters in Italy, because I'm really bored of playing a prostitute or those kind of things of bullshit. Now for me, with respect, I say it, but I can play a lawyer, a policewoman, whenever, but in Italy it's not like this today. So, but something is little bit by little bit changing. So that thing make me so, okay, I have story to tell, to write, to share. And with my 20 years experience back on set, I'm able to direct and to do it. So I have a wonderful crew today. And I have directed one first short film. We won 35 awards internationally.
35 awards?
Yeah, and this year I will do the step of directing my first feature. So that's it.
Fantastic.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Jessica. I'm an actress and shortly a screenwriter. And I became a screenwriter as well, like you said. So because of different stories from perspectives that I missed already. And I was working last year for a theater in Munich. It's one of the biggest residence theater, and I had a great director who made like a big workshop, and it felt like coming home, getting to know so much about myself and who am I because of the things that happened to me as a person of color in a dominated place with white people. And it was like things like you thinking all of the time, like you walking by and okay, what a person's thinking about me, things like this. And I thought, okay, it's all in my head, it's all about myself. And then we had those great books. One of them was like In My Grandmother's Hand. It was a great book, and it's amazing. So I know so many things about it now, and it was great to do something like this. So I'm really grateful about it, and that's why I wanted to share my own movies and do my own books, and I'm like got so inspired by all of this. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here hosting a panel with great people like you, and yeah, it's a great experience. Thank you very much for having me, and I pass by
Lina.
So, hi everyone, I'm Lina Zaraket. I'm an actress and producer from Germany and Lebanon, and I'm currently working in Germany and Spain. And yeah, I came to Germany. When I came to Germany, I was 11 years old, so I came as an immigrant. And I started as an actress, and now I'm producing more just to share my Arabic identity with the world, my migration story, cultural issues I have. And this is why I'm here now. I really want to share mental health issues which come with cultural heritage with you guys, and it's time to talk about these topics, especially now as we have very hard political issues globally. I mean, Trump and other right-wing people gaining power, and it has become very dangerous, and it's on us POCs to start sharing our stories and be stronger and louder than ever before. Yeah, and thank you for having me.
I'd like to start at sort of the beginning, or what at least seems to me to be a good beginning point to start from, which is that I've just listened to all three of you introduce yourselves, and it sounds as though you've been forced to do things beyond your original intention. So you came into the world, you thought, I'm going to be an actor. And at some point realized that there were complications with that narrative or that direction, and you needed to start doing other things, whether it was screenwriting, directing, producing. I also went through that trajectory, so I get it. Let's go back to when we were all young, naive, and innocent. And what were your impressions or thoughts about the industry and about being an actress? What did you think you were going to encounter, and what did you think that experience would look like?
Well, I was young and naive, and I thought after ending the acting school, I'm like, yeah, here I am, and everybody wants me and want to work with me, and I couldn't wait for anything, and
Let's
I
go to
heard things
Hollywood.
like, yeah, and then it came like, I'm sorry, we don't look for black people. I'm sorry, you're too light skinned. I'm sorry, no, you're too dark. And I'm like, is anything wrong with me? I don't know. And I started to do a Meissner technique, and I have one of my school members here. So I was painting my face white, and I started to cry so bad because I had a feeling no matter how many things I do, I will always be the wrong person to get a job. So that was really, really depressing for me, because after this high, I really fell and I stopped acting for a long time. And it took some time to get back on track and find my inner strength again and have some great, great role models. Even here in Germany, I was really thankful for it. So yeah, that was start of the beginning. Yeah.
As Jessica said, I mean, the same. And if I look back at my little Nadia, you know, dreaming, being on stage, in international stage, and acting, playing so many characters, you know, a warrior woman, I mean, many, 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 many things. And when you exit acting schools, I've studied in Paris, in Rome, in New York, and you are full of, you know, energy and willing, and then you start to knock the doors, and they look at you and said, "No, we don't need someone like you. We need a blonde one, hair, you know, blue eyes." I said, "Yeah, okay." One door, next door, always the same thing. So it starts, you know, to it puts you back more than ever, I think, in a bad mood, because for years I thought, I'm wrong. There's something wrong with me, and I was saying, why? How I have this hair? I hate my hair. I hated myself for so many years.
Just going to interject here, Nadia. There is nothing wrong with you.
No, for sure, I'm arriving to this. For sure, totally.
Talking about the young one.
Yeah, we're talking for back years.
I get it.
And I can tell you that it's recent. I tell the truth. I think kind of 1 year. I woke up one morning and look at me at this, at the mirror. I said, "Come on, you're beautiful. You can do everything, and you deserve the best because you know your art. You're powerful. You know how to go around the world." And I said, "Okay, I'm enough." Yeah. The others have the problem, on looking at me, but I don't have any problem. So, and I can tell you, something changed also, of course, in me. And now I go and I knock the doors, and there's another kind of relation, towards me, and that there's a very, very nice thing that's happening, and I want to share it with you. And a dream that I had since I was a little girl is coming true as I will perform on stage in New York Theatre on May. And, after so many years, you want to go, and with a monologue and it's going to happen. So thanks to me, and thanks to the problems I've faced, and we are here just to, to face this and to tell that we are not wrong. You know how many times I walk on set in Italy and you enter the hair department and they look at you like that. What I'm going to do with this? I said, come on, you do your work. And just don't worry, I will do it. You know how many times I do my own hair on set. So we have to face these things, and it's when you think about it, it's really, really hard thing.
Absolutely. Lina, would you like to speak on the subject?
Yeah, well, the same as my colleagues. When you start with your career, you're full of energy, you're positive, you think you're gonna have the biggest productions. I was not expecting that the process would be so hard and so tough and so competitive. And now I'm thinking more realistic about it. And I think this helps to maintain a healthy mental health, but yeah. Yeah, it's just the amount of rejections and criticism you get in the industry is huge. And I don't think we were aware of that when we were little and still studying at school. And we were not prepared for that. I mean, at least nobody told me about this and how to do, right? So yeah, you go in with a lot of hope and then you realize how hard the process is. And then, yeah, you have to kind of deal with it mentally. And that's the struggle.
Obviously, it's a shared experience, it feels like. And I kind of want to know how one deals with that. Now, there's a choice here. I'd like you to kind of speak to the challenges that you faced. And maybe you can speak to how it maybe impacted friends of yours, people in your community, how they dealt with it, or you can speak directly as to how you dealt with it, if you'd prefer. But how did you, with such an obvious and clear-cut resistance to your essence as a being, which is actually your tool as an actor, your being, how do you kind of deal with that? How does your friend deal with that?
Well, you have to definitely set boundaries and limits for yourself because nobody will help you doing this. Time schedules are very tough and there is no time and space to deal with personal issues on set. And I think it's most important is to deal with yourself, to take care of yourself, to look into the mirror, as you said before, to love yourself, to appreciate yourself and the colleagues, to be sometimes less competitive, to look to your colleague and say thank you that you're here, thank you, like praise each other, and just to change the mindset, also to start enjoying the process, because it's a long way. And if you only look at the results you want to gain, then you're completely lost. And also don't forget about the things why you're here. Like, why did you want to become an actor or a producer? What was your, like, when you were little, we all have our dreams. And for me, it was, I wanted to share my energy with the people, my identity, my stories, and just to slow down a bit and think about that and give a gift to the people out there. And yeah, this is how I cope with it now, like more being by myself, being more grounded and enjoy the process. Yeah.
The same. For me, the same as you. And I want to say an important thing for me is that I really realized that for me, there's no competition at all, because we are all unique. You know, as an actress, she's an actress, the same audition will be not the same. She'll do it as the way she'll do it the way she'll do it, I'll do it at the best, at the way I can do it, and that's it. There's no competition. That's my personal thought. then it's the director, the producer, this decision. But for me, there's no competition. And with friends, in Italy, we often meet together and face our difficulties, for sure. And the first one is to work. So with really humbly, I do many works. In the morning, when I'm not acting or writing, in the mornings I do work for a secretary, for an electrician guy. Another time I work in a restaurant, French restaurant. I mean, you have to deal with life, and there's not to be ashamed of it. It's life. We have to face it. We have to eat, to pay our bill, everything. And I have a son. And it's the way you live this thing, And I'm totally, happy like this today because I know, my potential, and I know I can walk the world with power.
Jessica, did you have something to say on that subject?
Yeah, I want to tell you a little secret what I'm doing. As you said, looking in the mirror, and what I do is I imagine myself as a little child that felt so helpless in the world. And sometimes I feel helpless as an adult, of course. And then I think about, okay, here you have the child, there you have me, myself right now, and then an elder person, and you here now, what can you do for you? Now you have the possibility to do the things, so you can speak up. And what I'm doing at the moment is working for the BIPOC Alliance, so we try to communicate and try to bring people of color in front of the camera, behind of the camera, and we're working really hard for it. And we invited plenty casters and do things like this. So I think building a community and being here like today, it's really, really the best thing that we can do. And we in the agency, we have the power, and I think we're on the best way to do this, Yeah.
And about mental health, I think COVID has made a lot of problematic things. But in the other way, I worked a lot under COVID.
Okay.
Really, in Italy, that's amazing. And it was COVID, and everyone was complaining, and it was for 2 years where I worked more.
Okay.
Amazing.
I've never heard COVID was my friend, but this is definitely great. I don't know how it was for you guys, but I'm wondering, were any of you from a show business family? Was there a support network or even an understanding within your family structures of what the entertainment industry was? Any of you?
Very briefly, no. I grew up in a family. I was the little girl, the only female with 8 brothers, and Algerian parents and Mauritanian, my father, and not accepting at all, my will to want to become an artist, an actress. So I had to fight, but okay, I've done it.
Yeah, no. I come from an Arabic family as well. Nobody works in the film industry, and it was very hard to fight for being an actress and to be part of the film industry, because growing up in such an environment meant that you have a lot of dignity and pride if you become a lawyer, if you become a doctor, engineer, But now they're, I think, prouder, because I convinced them that I'm doing a good thing and I'm speaking up for things and I'm fighting and I'm an activist as well. So yeah, everything is possible.
Absolutely. Good.
Yeah, my mom was really supportive and believed in me, but she didn't know how to support me. So that was my biggest issue at this place.
Yeah. That's exactly the point that I wanted to get to, because I feel that oftentimes not only are we facing a hostile environment situation, which is horrible to think of in itself, but then furthermore, there isn't a kind of safe space for us as individuals and as artists. So I'm kind of wondering whether or not, what have you found along your way as far as industry-wise that have been spaces or opportunities or even mental health specific opportunities within our industry that you've been able to tap into that have been helpful in some way, shape or form for you? Has there been anything?
I want to say no, nothing. But today, for example, in France, since Me Too, I appreciate one thing. On each production set, on the call sheet, you have a phone number for anti-harassment, and that's a good thing. And I was wondering why not add, mental health help. It could be a solution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know of any networks or support systems, but there are things happening. I mean, we are communicating about it. It's not a taboo topic anymore. Mental health is a thing which we can talk about it now, and it's not weak or unprofessional. So that's a good thing. But there is more support, such as intimacy coordinators on set, which help a lot with some intimate scenes, and this is good. To have more supporting systems within productions, but till now, it's a bit rare, to be honest. Yeah.
I heard about a company that hired a person of trust, and she was a person of color. The whole team was a person of colors, and they said they felt like it was a cast of the future. They felt so thankful for it, and I think that's still really rare, and I haven't experienced it by myself so much. So, of course, we have number, like you said, but yeah, not so many things. Yeah, I think it's really important to just try to do it in a community and back up yourself together. Yeah,
absolutely. I do find that our business is particularly unforgiving when it comes to the harsh way in which it treats the human form. And what I mean by that is in many other instances, if you worked in a corporate sort of setting, the level of personal critique that you have to absorb and be gracious while absorbing it as an actor, the kind of direct criticisms you have to listen to about the way you look, as you've mentioned, your hair, your shape, your size, all of these things, it wouldn't be allowed in most other professions, quite frankly. Human resources would be called and people would be fired and all sorts of things would happen. But we're expected to be subjected to this and kind of keep it moving. I wanted to look at this through the further compounding lens of social media, which is, we've had a panel earlier here today where casting directors were talking about, lamenting, if we will, about the fact that producers, directors are now asking about looking at people's social media. How many followers do you have? All this sort of thing. Can you speak to each of you the challenges around that, both on a personal level and also the mental health implications of needing to be something to everybody in whatever way that means?
Yeah, that's it's really a good question. Personally, I don't like social medias. And I find really amazing that today a producer in Italy tells you we choose actors by numbers of followers that you have. Come on. Oh my God, it's a work to be on social media, on Instagram. It's really a hard work and I don't like it. So, I have the right, not to participate on that thing. I have not many followers. So if you want to follow me, please do it. No, but come on, really, I don't like it. I do a post every, I don't know. 15 days. I don't care. You know, it's why? I mean, it's better real life. It's better, you know, look at people, you know, in face. And I understand communication. You're far. You have to see my profile. How do I look? How do? Okay, you know, little bit by little bit, but now staying, posting and posting. I'm here in Berlin. I haven't made one post since I'm here. I don't have time. I prefer to meet people, you know?
Okay, I hope you're not gonna hate me now. I'm gonna say the opposite. No, I'm a big fan of social media. I think there are unrealistic expectations and standards if you are a follower, but it's a huge marketing platform. And if you know the advantages of it, you can absolutely using as an activist, as an artist, you can share projects, you can share everything, and you don't need a TV station to come and ask you to. You don't need a radio station to come. So you're free to do whatever you want. And I think to start sharing what you want to tell to the people out there is amazing. I think it's more a chance if you start to be a follower rather than to be influencers, sorry, than to be a follower. And it's a big chance. I really, really love the opportunity for social media. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry. But I mean, you have to have time, or you have to have money to, you know, to pay someone to do it. Because today there are, you know, those kind of managers who. That's not my case. So I mean,
I'm on your side with that. You really have to set limits and boundaries, because if not, you're gonna be addicted. You're gonna compare yourself to others. You know, you kind of scroll. Oh, she's more successful than me, But yeah, I mean, casters, they can be also inspired by us, right? Like if you share this panel, they will look at us and they will say, oh, there is a POC person sitting here talking about her experience. And yeah, we can definitely use it, and don't make social media use us.
Yeah, but I'm sure that people who are here are more interested in the thing. Exactly. And after this panel, we will walk, and talk with them directly, you know, face to face.
Which is better.
Online, no.
Yeah, I mean...
But to reach more people... Well, you both have said it well, but... I try to follow the right people for myself that are like empowering me, showing me most important topics, and connect like international. That's a great thing for me. And I try don't to follow people that I compare with and feel bad after it. So for me, it's more like I have the feeling my algorithm goes down because I speak up every time about all the political things. So they say, no, bye. But I'm still here and I'm still trying. And for me, it's the most important thing to speak up. So, yeah.
Well, if you think your algorithm was bad before, wait till Elon Musk and the rest of his team get hold of you. But that's a whole other That's a whole other topic in terms of where we're going politically. I wanted to speak a little bit about, and we're running out of time, so I'm just giving a pre-warning here because I'm getting signals. But I wanted to sort of just get a sense of, as actors, we travel with our work, whether it's from city to city or from country to country. Can we look at, I'd love to get your opinion in terms of the mental health aspect of things when it comes to working in different cultures. And by cultures, I do mean different countries, different spaces, but I also mean different spaces in terms of value systems. You're three women, and I'm certainly not here to objectify anyone, but I understand that oftentimes we're working in male-dominated spaces, and I'm wondering how that factors in from a mental health perspective in terms of the experiences that you've had, both internationally and in terms of the maybe gender or culture of different spaces that you're working in. How has that affected you? Or do you have a particular story that comes to mind or an experience that comes to mind in that regard?
Yeah, when I was shooting, sometimes, like I said before, with the hair, you enter a room and they say, oh, I was so suspicious how to put the light right on your face. It will be a great experience. And you're like, okay, I just came here for work, but now I feel really like a science project, you know? And the last thing that happened to me was that they started to arguing about a bad word. And then the whole crew was white people, and they thought that it's necessary now to argue. And then they tried to put me in the discussion. And I had the feeling that I'm a teacher who's not getting paid, and they don't care about my trauma. So they re-traumatizing me while I was trying to do my work. And that things, I think that's so struggling and hard to stay strong and prepare for your role, for your character, when you always get to, they have to talk about your skin color and want to know things about you. So about the German culture, yeah, it's challenging, to be honest.
To answer your first question, I think, you know, I was born with a luggage because, you know, traveling for me, it's life, it's everything. Since January, I've visited, for meetings in 9 countries, you know, all around the world. So I feel really like, you know, lucky and blessed for that. And then, of course, I faced harassment in my life, in my artistic life. And one thing I can tell, one day I was doing an audition for a main character. Actually, there were three female main characters. And in Italy, I went in, I've done my scene, a monologue, and then the director was really, really happy with that. And then the producer entered, so he asked me to wait outside. I said, okay. And I could hear my voice, you know, so they were looking at my, you know, my audition. Yeah. And then the director exited with a kind of face like, and we walk outside, and he said, do you want to know what the producer said? I said, yes, tell me. You know, really naive. And he said, he just said, she's African. What's Africa has to do with our film? And I was like, sorry? But I succeeded on doing the film, but the producer asked the director to write one more character for a blonde Italian girl. But I've done the film. But when they in your face say those kind of things, it's always, you know, you say, come on, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's so strange, but I feel almost the need to apologize that you had to have that experience. But, you know, again, you know,
we used to. That's sad to say, but I mean.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any?
Nothing to add here.
Fantastic. Now, I understand that I'm running out of time, and I do understand the nature of this panel. I would be remiss if I didn't open it up to at least a couple questions. So are there any burning questions? Otherwise, we'll keep the conversation going over here. Any? Oh, there's a question right at the front. I'll just give you my mic.
Thank you very much. First of all, thanks very much for this panel. And thanks very much for the openness. I'd like to know from you, if you have the impression nowadays, you were talking about this from the very beginning, that the situation makes it necessary to collaborate, to get together. And do you have the impression that this is really on a professional perspective, that this has already started, that you are coping much better, that you even collect some money from different, how can I say that, from different institutions maybe, or private equity or whatever, so that the whole community can take advantage of this? Is there anything that you experienced in that manner? Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh God, actually money, not yet, but you know, I'm confident about that. As I told you before, I want to do my first feature. But those are days where we can, meet people. And I met a lot of producers. I mean, you don't feel you feel more less alone, than usually when you're. I mean, for me in Italy, so it's kind of a community creating and meeting all together. So I'm really think it's in a positive way for sure, and this is really meaningful nowadays.
Yes.
Seeing your panel here, I'm thinking about a movie, for instance, or a series about 3 women who overcome the challenges. Even the
speaker is there.
So my bad. Okay. So I'm asking, is it possible for you guys, the 3 of you, to be in a production in the future, since you are now writer, directors, and producer? I think that the way to overcome the challenges that you've been facing is to building from this, your experience, and I think that there being a lot
really
of people
good
here.
idea. Really, I agree.
Love
with
it.
You. Yeah, I love it too.
Let's meet for a drink later, girls.
No, really, I would like to, of course. I mean, we're here also, for making those kind of connections and, meeting, all kind of humanities and back experiences.
I love that suggestion, and I'm going to kind of anchor it even in the sense, there is a question. Fantastic. Okay.
Hi, thanks. I hope the sound is okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can stand up. Hey, I'm Natasha. I'm a political scientist, and I've worked a lot on anti-discrimination, also in the cultural field in Berlin, but I've moved to the film sector in the last year. So now I'm working on a story on German colonial relations with Namibia and extractivism. And I would like to ask you if you know more about structural organization. I come a lot from social movement background, but not in the film industry. I know that in Germany it starts a little bit, but I feel like here also there was so much emphasis on your individual experiences, and I think it's too much. It's too much of a burden. It's 500 years. It's a structure, and that's also the thing that it plays a role in the film. In short, my question is the colonial structure of racism and the possibility, if things happen to you as an actor on the set, you should not deal with it individually in that moment, right? So also to not, what are your strategies, or from other people to be this is a boundary as well, to be it's a structure and it's your problem and I'm getting out of that.
Actually, no. I mean, in that sense, I feel kind of a little bit alone, because we don't have any structure. We can only complain between a few colleagues, and for now, that's it.
I think we just need to get resilient, and on set, hopefully there's someone you can talk to. If not, somebody who can call your agent or someone, and to back up and get back later to the production, because as an actor, we're always when I speak up now, will they book me again? So we're always in this position should we speak up? Shouldn't we? So I always hope that there's a good agent behind it who will come for it and fight for it. We always need allies. It shouldn't be always on us to explain ourselves.
Yeah, I agree. The agent is always the best reference.
I would just like to say that is a fantastic question. We're out of time for questions at this point, but I would like to say that was a fantastic question. And the whole purpose of my conversation, and the reason why I wanted to do this panel on mental health, is to actually expose the fact that there are no safeguards in place. The film and TV charity in the United Kingdom, which is one of my bases, has done reports, and you can go to their website, the Film and TV Charity in the UK. The research and the statistics on mental health within the actual film industry, taken from a broad cross-section of individuals, not just people of color, actually very minor amounts of people of color, quite frankly, are awful. The statistics are terrible. something like, 1 in 6 have contemplated suicide in such sort of levels of statistics. I don't know what impact COVID has had on that. I don't know what impact certain other things have had on that, but I wanted to use this opportunity to expose the reality of this, see how wonderful, talented actresses and people who have gone on to write, produce and direct content that win awards, this is what we're subjected to. It is necessary to expose this, and we have to do better and make changes. So can you please put your hands together for these wonderful panelists?